Good morning. Hi. It just echo. Do you remember when you were a little
I
kid
love your face.
and the first time you figured out that you could make echoing sounds?
How do you do that?
Well, like driving through, for example, in Kentucky at Lake Cumberland, there's limestone on either side or some kind of rock. I think it's limestone. And as a little kid, you're like, hello. And your voice bounces back and goes, hello, hello, hello. That's all. I'm just asking. Thanks, Allison. Did I put yours in the wrong spot?
Oh, well, remember we unplugged one of them and let a guest use that one yesterday. So
That's on me.
no, it's okay.
Hi. Welcome to the Right Side. I'm Amy Beth Shaver. And my disappearing partner in crime is Allison Sinclair. But because I plugged the earbobs into the wrong earbob outlet, she can't hear jack squat.
Now it's too loud. Okay. It's so loud now.
Well, at least you can hear. And that's JP. Keeping this train running.
Barely.
Hello. How are you? Happy Thursday, y'all. Number one, we obviously will have our word of the day, our look around and talk. We'll do yammer. We have the montage. Our plunge is going to be a subject that was basically all over my socials this morning and yesterday and the day before and the day before that. No, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we're going to discuss it. And then we have the Jim Zeigler at 11:10 a.m. I've already talked
we already have.
I've already talked to Jimmy today.
Will be our second appearance with Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Zig.
And we're excited to have Zig on, the colorful and beloved Alabama politician. And I'd say historian if you've read what he writes. He has a love for Alabama that no matter what, I appreciate deeply. He knows stuff. And we may ask him a question about some places he's visited. You don't know. Who knows?
Maybe
We
I'll
don't
tell
know.
The first story I ever heard about Zig. It's hysterical.
Is it that one?
Yes. I had no clue. Well, we went to a Christmas party at the governor's mansion.
Yeah.
This was several years ago, 4 or 5
Gotta
years
get
ago.
myself right for Jim.
And there was a guy in
Professional.
a red velvet jacket. And he was running around the party. Now, the band was wearing red velvet jackets. So I didn't know if he had like defected from the band or not.
He just given up.
Turns out it was Jim. And then I heard a story. I started asking about who he was. And the story fit.
Well, I almost used this picture. The fact that Yellowhammer used this picture to officially call his race.
I mean, and we learned something new today since he's from Mobile. Is he will see us at 11:10.
Yeah, 11:10. But also, I love that he's got a Zeigler shirt.
Zeigler meets. Zeigler.
The red, I guess. What
Are those snappers?
Red snappers.
Red
Is that
snapper.
AI or is that real?
No, that's real.
That's real Jim Ziegler.
That's the
with the red snapper.
That's the official picture Yellowhammer used to call his race.
Yeah, but is he the winner of the fishing tournament? 'Cause those are
Yes,
giant.
that too.
Those are massive.
That too.
Are we going to do the Muslim Minute
Yes.
brought to you by Charlie?
The Muslim.
Did you? Which one are you playing today? What?
Yeah, that needs to be our intro. We need to just like somehow cut Charlie going Muslim and then have like minute. The Muslim Minute.
I love it. I love it.
Wait, we're doing that.
I love it.
The
I
Muslim
love
Minute.
it. I want some more of it.
Then maybe a little or not. Well, I think we'll move on from that one.
Are you sure you
Why
want to?
did you get so clammy about that one all of a sudden?
It was me getting clammy. I got clammy.
Because every time we brought it up,
I'm clammy.
every time we brought it up, everybody would get quiet. And I'm like, okay, we can not do it anymore if we don't want to.
But I thought I sent you one that was funny. Also,
What if we do the camel? Yeah, the camel that's going.
Maybe
that
Colorado.
one of our friends that shall remain nameless sent that to me, and I'm sorry. We shall use the serrated edge when talking about this deathly serious subject because that camel's funny.
Yeah, maybe we'll go Muslim and then the.
He said when we were playing the clip that's all he heard from the Muslim imam.
Look, they say they want to kill us, so I'm sorry. Whatever. Take it as you will.
Did y'all see?
It's Thursday. We don't care anymore.
I thought about this being the Muslim.
We
Minute
cared on
clip.
Wednesday.
Yeah, but not today.
I thought about the Muslim
Cheers.
Minute clip being this, but I maybe not. But Alex Jones debated Sneeko last night.
What?
And it has like 3 or 4 of the greatest clips. Like Alex at one point
What?
was just like screaming like Allahu Akbar, jihad, jihad, jihad. And it was insane. Yeah, I didn't watch the full thing, but
JP.
and there's another part where he goes, if you want to declare war, if you want to fight, you got one on you. And it was like screaming at him. It was I have to go back and rewatch
We're
the whole
gonna need
thing.
some clips. Of
Yeah,
that.
like immediately. Just ignore us. We're going to talk. You go find those clips. Please, good sir.
What are we talking about?
All right. So, numero uno.
Hey, you got a FedEx delivery coming.
Guys, now you see why I can't do word of the day because cheater, pumpkin eater, which turns out pumpkin is good for your dogs, looks at my phone.
No, it popped up on the screen. It said you're getting a FedEx delivery. That's what
All right,
it said.
listen.
Looks so
Quickly, JP went to see a movie because the movie's director or the movie's regional, like who we're having somebody really special on Monday.
You already saw it?
I saw it last night.
No, JP, we were taking a field trip together and we were going to do a reel about it.
I forgot.
Dang it. Okay.
Sorry,
He
sorry.
He liked it. He
We're
liked it.
going.
We're going, but he liked it.
Well, I can go again. I'll go again.
Would you go again?
Yes.
It's
Let's
free.
see.
We're
went-
going to go to the free screening.
I went with
Sweat.
a friend last night and saw
Thanks,
it.
Clifton.
But it was good. It was very good.
What, are you going to say what
Well,
you
he can't
saw?
because the guy's coming on Monday.
We don't have
Um,
to say what it is. People might want to listen in.
So Adam Thompson, who is the state director for Americans for Prosperity, Alabama, he'll be coming on the show Monday to talk about the free screenings that AFPAL, I think is the proper way to say it, has for Young Washington. So, but I watched it last night. I'll go see it again with y'all for sure because I liked it. It was good.
Okay. My mother-in-law said she loved it. She called me yesterday and last night, and she said, "Oh, I just had to tell you, I saw it and I loved it. I thought it was great."
Okay. This friend and I, we went to go see it and we were sitting on the right side of the aisle.
Yeah, you were.
But we walk in and there is like 3 rows in a row filled with respect, like 60 to 70-year-old people. And we were smack dab next to them the whole movie. But like we walked in, the whole theater was empty. And it was like a church group or something, but like 3 rows filled with our elders were in the theater to watch that movie last night.
Are you being an ageist?
I'm
What's
not.
wrong with
I
that?
feel
Did
like
they
he-
cause a scene?
They clapped at the end of the movie.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Did they talk the whole movie?
They did talk a lot in the trailers. It was
They
fun.
don't look. That is, I'm gonna.
Were their phones dinging the whole movie?
Surprisingly not. No.
Ding.
Okay, that's good.
But it just kind of like shocked because I walked in and it was like 3 rows filled with them. I was like, do we find a different time or no? I guess we're good.
You went with it. You know, you're safe with the sweet people.
What's wrong with old people, JP? What is he doing? We're close to that. Like, why would you leave?
Y'all are not close
Were
to
they going
that.
to attack you?
Y'all aren't close to that.
Abs, what's he
think it's
saying?
adorable.
Can you interpret?
Well,
JP, when you get into our age group, we are the freshman class of the old people.
Y'all are not
I
old.
am in the freshman class. It's fine. I have grandchildren. I've accepted my lot and I love it. But it is always surprising, I know, when people show up from maybe the church group, maybe there was a church van out front, you know, and they probably would have brought you popcorn or a Coke or something.
I need you to just say what you're implying, JP.
Nah.
I would turn around and walk out if it was a bunch of yahoos like your age in there.
Well,
No, you wouldn't.
I'd be like,
There
they're
are
just gonna
kids.
be TikToking and Snapchatting
me and my friend
and be like DTR, FR, Riz, Sigma.
me and my friend were sitting right next to all of them. That's what I was like.
Well, next time act like you're in distress, and I bet you they'll go get you a popcorn and Coke. You know, like I'm faint,
I'm hungry.
because that's the
money.
best, that group of people. But I'm glad you liked it, and we'll have to see it so we can do.
When are the free screenings? Are they after Monday? Because
They're going on right now.
do we need to go ahead and say when they are? Because I don't want to miss it if it's free. You know, we're
Yeah.
getting old. We're going to be on Medicaid,
I'm about to get that
Social Security.
Well,
horrible discount card in a few years.
they're
Ugh.
hosting 8 free screenings throughout July at theaters across the state.
Sweet.
So we have time.
We'll have to
Okay.
get specific details on that. But Adam, who is the state director for AFPAL, will be on Monday to talk about that.
Okay, that's great.
Yellowhammer has an article about this. I didn't read it. Sorry, Grayson. Probably should have. But I saw the title. So if you need more information, you can go to Yellowhammer and type in like
Typing cat.
Young Washington AFP or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Great.
Grand.
All right. Fun
Wonderful.
times. Guys, it is now.
Time for Allison to close her eyes.
Yeah. She's got to close her eyes.
Can you hold it closer to you, or is it?
I
do you
just-
hold
I-
it out because you can't see it because you're almost
That age where
movie
JP
old?
would move from
I
me.
shouldn't have said that.
That's bad.
That was ageist.
That was ageist.
That was
I
kind
am,
of.
I am ageist. I'll say.
Listen. All right, JP, it is time for the word of the day.
Let's dance like old people.
Now I gotta say it louder for y'all to hear. 3, 2, 1.
That's all you can do. I'm exhausted.
That's like if we were 90.
Should we do the show like this today?
Oh, I think we should. Let me get my glasses. I'd like to be a 90-year-old grandma.
Can you read it?
Named
Or you need
Lurleen.
help?
Well, I think I'm fine for now.
I can't hear you.
I'll talk up if you want me to, but my name is Lurleen. What is your name?
Darling.
Hey,
Lurleen,
Darlene. It's so
Darlene.
nice to meet you. Now, these kids today don't know how to spell or write in cursive. And
Somebody did do that during the movie. I remember. It was during one of the most important parts of the movie, and one of the women goes like, and I was like, is she choking on her popcorn?
listen,
There's just no awareness.
there isn't any situational awareness, anymore, because we would have sat with our dresses and our ankles crossed, and we'd have closed our mouth when we ate some popcorn and drank us a Coca-Cola. But my word of the day is what good 90-year-olds would know this word.
I can't see anyway.
It's okay, honey. I got the word for you, Darlene. But here's the word. I don't know what's wrong with this. I think I took my Geritol and I combined it with my icy hot from my back, and maybe I took a few too many Tylenols, and that's maybe why I'm
Just
off.
doubled up the insure this morning. You're ready to go.
I am ready to go. Oh, if my husband could still practice medicine, he wouldn't worry about me so much. But we're 90 now.
I need a paper towel, JP.
We don't even have any up here.
No, I brought paper towels yesterday. Oh gosh, I almost looked. Okay.
All right, wait. I'll wait for JP, and then I'll go back to being normal.
It hurts.
Thanks, JP.
I need to.
Thanks, Sonny.
I need some cold cream. Get this
Oh yeah.
mascara off. Thank you.
I need some paper towel too.
Just keep it behind the.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Darlene.
While y'all are doing that, Bully Bell just commented, got my son 28 and his wife to go see Young Washington with us. The first thing he whispered was, "This is the most boomer event ever."
Which is why we love it.
And Ian from Hartsville says 13 minutes in and it's off the rails.
And don't worry, we'll get it back just a second.
It just reminds us of our childhood.
Are you going to at least allow us that?
Have we even done the word?
No, I'm about to do the word. The word is a formal adjective. And once I give you the definition, then we'll go back to regular and speak in a regular voice. But it's a formal adjective used to describe something that is expressed or understood without being directly stated.
Incognito.
What's the what does it start with?
It starts with a T. A T.
Let's say it again.
Okay. It's a formal adjective used to describe something that is expressed or understood without being directly stated. It's
Ah,
good
Brad
word.
got the word.
Tentative.
He knows it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he got it. I'm not gonna say it.
Don't say it. Don't
Brad
ruin it for
Schmad,
Darlene.
You sit down, Brad.
Just give her a second.
What's the second letter?
I didn't tell you the first letter.
Yeah,
You said
did.
T.
You
Did I
T.
say T?
You did.
Sorry, I ain't right. A. It's A.
Taunting.
No, it ain't the word.
Talkative.
That also ain't the word.
I don't know. My eyeballs are burning. Can you just tell me, Lurleen? I ain't got
All
any
right.
more energy.
The word is tacit.
I've never heard that word.
It's tacit. It is understood that the Islamo communists are crazy and bent on destruction.
You didn't use the word tacit, though.
Well, it's tacit because it's understood. It's baked into the cake.
Yeah,
It
but-
is. We have a tacit understanding
Oh, okay.
that the Islamo communists
Oh, you said it.
are crazy. and
Yeah.
So it's like that word.
Yeah, I get it now.
Use it in a sentence, JP. Quick.
It's very tacit that
Does it end in a D or a T?
T. Tacit.
it's very tacit that I was gonna say that I would be uncomfortable sitting next to my
Old
elders in a
people.
Young Washington movie.
I shouldn't have to say it out loud, but I did, and now everybody knows I hate old people.
But what's funny is like we walked in, we turned the corner, and I stopped and I just stared for a second, and then I walked up the stairs, and then one of the like guys like had like a Bluetooth earpiece on his head. He looks at me and goes, as I'm walking up,
Oh my word! Progressive ad right there.
What if that was Granny Ram? How would you
I
want someone to treat
know.
Granny Ram?
It's,
Would
it's
they
a-
be
it
like,
was just a surprise. You thought they
Granny
went to bed
Ram's
at
here.
8, and they don't.
because when I saw that Bluetooth earpiece, I thought of my grandfather because he wore that constantly, and he'd always be in the store going like, "Answer, answer, answer." And he took my one of my aunt's boyfriends. They've been a longtime boyfriend to the store, just them two. And my grandfather said, "You know, JP likes this sort of like drink. You know, do you think we should get it?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." And then he gets a call. My grandfather goes, "Answer, answer," and he goes, "Yes, yes, we'll get it." Anyway,
Listen,
oh, it's funny.
you'll find that you are even more fun than you ever were before when you enter this phase of life. You just wait.
I'm
It's
sure.
absolutely delightful. You do not care.
What do
and
you think
it's-
he thinks walking in here every day?
y'all
So,
are
like-
not that.
Well, I mean,
demographic.
no. When we were your age, people our age looked like they were 90 and they acted like they were 90. So I can see that you would view us that way, and
No,
it's
I don't.
okay.
I don't.
We accept that. We
No.
listen and we don't judge.
Y'all are like my mom's, like that.
Okay.
not
Okay.
the
Yeah,
Well,
your
thank you.
mom's our
Thank you.
age.
not that walk in and go like All right, y'all, this is what we're doing for the. All right, you got your hearing aids cranked up. This is what we're doing for the. Write it down so you don't forget it. Okay. I said we're.
Jim, he's not talking about you.
No,
he's absolutely not. All right. So, do
Jen.
you have your whippersnapper word of the day?
Your young people word of the day.
The whippersnapper word of the day. It's actually a whippersnapper phrase of the day. 2 words. It's a read on the mood or energy.
Vibe shift.
Close.
Vibe
check.
Yes.
Vibe check.
Vibe check. A vibe
Tag
check
team.
is Gen Z's way of evaluating how something feels, whether it's a person, a party, or a playlist. When a vibe is off, or when they say vibe off, like other people say red flag. He once walked into a dentist's office and turned around because the waiting room had fluorescent lighting and old people magazines failed the vibe check, is the example.
I understand that.
Use it in a sentence. JP walked into a movie theater.
Did a vibe check and almost walked out.
There you go. Because of the old people.
Well, I stayed and watched.
And did you enjoy it?
I did.
Good. That's what we can't wait to talk about.
All
All right. Now, JP.
I'm gonna push the break 2 minutes so we have
Okay.
enough time.
My story.
Enough time to do Yammer.
Sorry. Bobby said we're having way too much fun today. I shouldn't because I can barely walk. Okay. All right, Allison.
I have an update. Remember yesterday?
I remember.
That's appropriate to start this. But yesterday, I can't remember. Oh, it was in Hot Flash News where the California schools were asking for lessons in Black English.
Oh, yes.
Nancy Mace, the representative from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Posted that her office looked up some examples of Black English. Because remember, I couldn't click on it to see. And so we were making up what it was about here. And I don't know if I don't know. I mean, the New York Post, she retweeted. That headline is "Activists Demand Black English Be Pushed on Kids in California Preschools." Here's Black English. This is what Nancy Mace found as examples. He be working late on Tuesdays.
Stop it. We've already done Ebonics.
I'm finna go get some food. Don't nobody know where he went. She been finish that project.
Guys, I don't care who you are. All of us, all God's children should be expected to speak the King's English. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
Is that Ebonics? Remember?
That's Ebonics.
Isn't that what we did?
2.0. We did Ebonics, and then you didn't do Ebonics. I didn't do Ebonics, but it was a thing. This is Ebonics 2.0. This is the soft bigotry of low expectations. Shame, shame, California.
Hey, my links are working again.
Oh, look. The NSA's done tapping your phone for the day. I bet it'll be me now.
It says they want to legitimize this in preschool as a way to build children's literacy skills in California.
Mm-hmm. Again, the soft bigotry of low expectations.
Black Californians United for Early Care and Education is a part of a movement to challenge harmful language hierarchies. Hold on, I'm getting ready.
Oh, gosh.
Bless you.
Turning your mic off.
Hold on. That was just so unprofessional. But the sneeze is gone. Harmful language hierarchies and affirm Black English as a legitimate rule-governed language rooted in Black history, culture, and community. It's real.
So they're just accepting and admitting the fact that Black culture is.
He be working late on Tuesdays.
So why is it something to be proud of to say that? Because they're imposing the title in their culture that they don't speak good English.
And for most Black Americans, they don't want to speak like that. They don't want that taught to their kids. That is the Democratic Party's way, the liberal progressive wing of saying, we think you're stupid. That's what that is. And that is highly offensive. Highly offensive.
We should do a show in Black English.
No, Abs could do a show.
I could,
So
or you would get canceled.
Would we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But you just would. All right, guys, mine is quick. Alabama is leading the charge to secure mail-in ballots. AG Marshall supports USPS proposed rule for strengthening mailing standards for elections. This is a story that Yaffe wrote. And again, here is Steve Marshall at the forefront of what matters, and that's to make sure that our elections are trustworthy. Also,
what's the proposal? Because I don't know. Is it that I just saw that they shut down the post office for one day, like election day is a holiday. Is that it?
Well, as argued, let's see, filed on behalf of 13 states in support of the Postal Service's proposed rule strengthening mailing standards for the transmission of mail-in ballots for federal elections. And there's more, but if you want to read it, just go to Yellowhammer News. Also, I really would appreciate if we would dig in, though, to the voting machines in Omaha, Nebraska. And we'll just keep talking about it until it finally comes out. JP?
Okay, mine might be a little heavy, but the headline was crazy, and I saw this everywhere yesterday. I'm sure y'all did too. Alabama podcaster focused on end times commits suicide during child sex charge arrest.
Did you see that story?
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about the flight instructor
jumped to his death.
Okay, we can talk about that.
Okay,
all right. Yeah, I didn't dig into that. So who is this Alabama? Who is it?
This is from AL.com. An Alabama podcaster and substitute teacher at a church took his own life Wednesday morning as law enforcement officers arrested him on child sex charges. His name was Richard Anthony Uhas, 58. His podcast was called Renewed Mindsets, Don't Conform, Transform. The podcast description said it was a bold, truth-driven podcast that digs into end times prophecy, biblical warnings, and the call to live holy in the final days.
Oh, well, that didn't age well.
No.
I won't get into the details of what he was accused of. I'll just say that he, at the church, sent text messages to an underage girl that he had candy in his office.
It didn't go well from there.
But I don't know if y'all like.
Wait, let's talk about it in the 11 o'clock hour at the end of the day. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
Did she go get candy?
She got assaulted.
Yes.
I mean, you don't ever go to the van with a guy that has puppies or candy.
Ever.
Ever.
But for these pedos to set themselves up in churches, it's not often. It's very rare, but that's really sick. So,
do you ever really know anybody? I think that's what makes me nervous.
No, I don't want to,
because of the human condition.
I have many thoughts on that. Yeah.
Whoo, way to go, JP. That was fun.
Sorry.
Okay, when we come back, we've got the Muslim Minute and the montage. And what else? Plunge.
Zeigler at 11.
Zig. It's going to be fun. We'll be back.
Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair, and we are joined by Admiral Brian Christine, who is the Assistant Secretary for Health at HHS. And it is a thrill and it is an honor, sir, to have you here. Thank you.
Oh, it's a privilege to be here. It is so fun to have come back home to Sweet Home, Alabama, to come see my family and to do this, to work with y'all, to do this podcast, to help get the messaging out that we need to, so the American people know the good things that we're doing in Washington, the good things that Secretary Kennedy and President Trump are doing. And so as we start off, I have to give a shout out, obviously, to our president and to Secretary Kennedy, because they are working so hard to make this country healthier than she's ever been, to make Americans stronger than we've ever been, to make America great again. So thanks for the opportunity.
So before we jump into those values issues and talking about making our country healthy again, which is such a relief, could you tell those who may not know you or have heard about you, because you are a legend, a little bit about your background?
Sure.
As we jump in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born, my father was in the Army. I was born in what used to be West Germany. Now, if you're old enough like me, you remember that one time there was an East and a West Germany during the Cold War. My father was a tanker. In other words, he was in armor in the Army, tanks. And we had a lot of armor assets deployed along the east-west border during that time. I was born in 1963, really the height of the Cold War. So I was born in West Germany. My father ultimately went Special Forces. In his second tour of Vietnam, he was really severely injured, lost an arm and a leg, got out of the military. We ultimately settled in Augusta, Georgia, had some family there. I went to medical school at Emory in Atlanta, and then I came over to UAB for my residency, and that's how I got to Birmingham. I did my residency in urologic surgery, completed my residency, and then I joined a urology group here in Birmingham, and I practiced with that group for 24, 25 years, really subspecializing in men's health. That was kind of my gig. Then I got the call for the nomination to be the Assistant Secretary for Health from President Trump. Went through the confirmation process. Ultimately, was confirmed by the Senate. I was confirmed into this position last November, and here you are. So now I'm in Washington as the Assistant Secretary for Health.
Were you expecting that call? I mean, how does this happen?
Yeah,
you're just like
that's a great
Brian
question.
Christine in Birmingham, Alabama, and you get a call that you're the next Rachel Levine. What's her boy name?
Richard.
Richard Levine. Richard Levine. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yes, I am President Trump upgrade from Richard Levine.
We would say so.
We're very grateful for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I really think, listen, I think one of the reasons that President Trump nominated me and the Secretary Kennedy wanted me in the position is because I practiced medicine on the front lines. I was kind of a Main Street doctor. Mm-hmm. And I think they liked the idea of having someone who really understood medical care and delivery from a Main Street level. Personally, I think also one of the reasons that President Trump wanted me in this position, because there's really not another visual that shows the difference between the horrible Biden administration and the really righteous and good Trump administration, and the fact that you have me in the same position as Levine. I'm a man who wears men's clothing, and that really says all you need to know about the last administration and this administration. For sure.
I always thought he could have done a better job, like zhuzhing it up a little bit. Like it was like he put on some earrings and a dress, and that was it. Like, but we can work a little harder. But I think America, the juxtaposition is overwhelming from what y'all are doing versus what he was doing.
Well, no, exactly. When you look at Levine, I mean, again, his agenda was, no question about it, the transgender and minors agenda was so important for him. All he wanted to do was to tell little boys they could be little girls, little girls they could be little boys, and then recommend castrating surgeries, castrating chemicals, hormones, and do irreversible harm to these kids. So if you go back and look at what he talked about, mostly that was it. I mean, Levine advocated for removing any kind of age restriction on transgender treatment in kids. He advocated for those sex-rejecting surgeries. That's what we call them. People say transgender surgery. No, in this administration, we talk about sex-rejecting surgeries and procedures because that's what they are. And that was his big focus, right? I personally believe he was in that position as a statement. I personally believe he was in that position to be an eyepiece, not because he really cared about the health of the country. So I'm really happy to be in this position to be able to reverse and to right so many of the wrongs that the last administration and Levine, perpetrated on the country.
So in this position, you're able to do a lot of good. Could you talk to us about your roles and responsibilities?
Sure. As the Assistant Secretary for Health, you have kind of a three-level role. One is to help form healthcare policy, to work across the different divisions of the Department of Health and Human Services, to work with the CDC and NIH and FDA, and work with HHS leadership to help form healthcare policy. So we help form the policy. We help implement that policy. There's also a communication role, which really appeals to me, in that we help to communicate the policy to healthcare establishments, healthcare providers, and to the country at large. Okay, the Surgeon General falls under the Assistant Secretary for Health. So when we have our new Surgeon General in, and I'm happy to say that Dr. Casey Means will be having her hearing before the Senate on the 25th of this month, I believe. She'll be an amazing Surgeon General. We're going to work so well together. But together we'll be advancing the message of the Department of Health and Human Services and President Trump to the American people. So there's that communication aspect to the role. And then also, the Assistant Secretary for Health can serve as a...
Welcome back, friends. I know we've heard from some of you that in the beginning minutes of the show, it was off the rails. You're right. It is. It's Thursday.
Oh, wait, you need that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay because I sent it to
I don't need to look at
the little kid over there who clearly hates old people. Did the old
person know how to send it?
I just barely got it in there, Darlene. You got to hit the buttons. I did. I didn't even have to ask for help because my grandson helped me. He helped me. Help me. He helped me. Help me, Rhonda.
That was me this weekend helping Granny Ram with her Apple Watch.
See. By the way, somebody needs to tell me what kind of cute little Fitbit situation I can have going on now that I'm extra super motivated. And I need not a watch because I've got my watch from my husband, but I need a cute bracelet situation.
I don't know about this.
So somebody tell me, because I think Fitbit has one that doesn't have a watch on it, and that's what I want, but it's got to be cute.
Don't you want like an aura or a what's it
well,
called?
But I don't know. I'm leaving space for my husband to give me a new one.
Halo.
Quora. Emmy has one. She loves it. Maybe it can go on my pinky. Maybe I'll get one if that's cute. Anyway, if anybody has any ideas, let me know.
Okay, by the way, y'all, this is my fault. We have not discussed the breaking news yet before the show.
Oh my gosh, do you have any breaking news minute?
So, I don't Go. And we can just briefly talk about this for the montage, but I figured it was worth discussing first. Judge dismisses Tuberville residency case. So we were awaiting the ruling from this circuit judge in Montgomery. This is the same lawsuit from the real estate agents in Birmingham, yes?
Yes. But what do that mean? So now it goes to this sentencing court?
So it actually just ruled that the court lacked jurisdiction over the claim.
Right.
Which effectively kicks it up to the Alabama Supreme Court, which we expected.
I have a question. If it gets kicked up to the Supreme Court, and as the person said last week, if it gets kicked up there, will some of them have to recuse themselves? And if that's the case, what happens then? Or is that way ahead of time?
Write this? So, okay. Does he say anything about that? Because I'm not sure. I mean, why are we recusing ourselves? Is everybody on the Supreme Court besties with Tuberville?
I don't think so. And maybe that's just a piece of red meat that somebody threw out to kind of, there's going to be problems. Just because it's dismissed doesn't mean something's not going to happen. This is just a time waster, is what this is. To delay the inevitable that Tuberville's going to run and Jones is going to lose. That's it.
Immediate appeal to the Alabama Supreme Court. Okay. Abs, I don't know. I think that came out of the Democrat camp. Mm-hmm. I think that was them posturing to say all the Supreme Court justices are, all attached to Tuberville. And therefore, if they stay in, they're going to probably cry and say that's a fake, ruling that shouldn't stand because they're all best friends with Tuberville. And so maybe it was forcing the issue by exposing that they have relationships with Tuberville, but who in the state doesn't? I mean, everybody knows. Mm-hmm. I don't know how that's going to play out.
Go ahead.
Wasn't part of the claim though from the lawyer that he himself had personal connections to the Supreme Court justices that they would recuse themselves for? So not just Tuberville, but him too.
Oh, that was part of it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this was expected. I think the fact it took so long for a ruling was a bit unexpected, but I think everybody was just waiting for it to go up to the Alabama Supreme Court. No matter the result.
And here's the deal. I've never thought of this before. But if you're an elected official and people are like, yeah, he's friends with all these people on the court. He knows this, he knows that. Doesn't that also mean he's doing a good job if that many people feel like they know him? Like, aren't you as an elected official supposed to be out in among the people?
Yeah. And I mean, Alabama's political class is pretty small.
Yeah. I mean, so wouldn't you, in a place where relationships are huge and this is a very relationship driven state? I mean, you're throwing that out like it's a negative, but that's not a negative.
And you're telling me that Supreme Court justices don't know Doug Jones or Doug Jones's attorney. I mean, maybe they should just all recuse themselves.
Yeah.
Then who do you replace them with? How does that work?
You and me. We'd be great.
We'd get kicked off so fast.
We don't have good poker faces.
No, we don't. But I don't know how that works.
I genuinely don't know either. And so that is
what if everybody knows
baffling to me. They do. This is Alabama. We're not a big state. We are less the size. Our population is smaller than New York City. But we're throwing, the Democrats are throwing things out as if they're negatives. We just know each other. So I don't know. This is just a colossal waste of time.
Is there a chance the Supreme Court says they don't have jurisdiction either and it's a party thing? But the problem is this is Alabama code.
Yeah, it's Alabama law.
It's Alabama law. What was her reasoning for not having jurisdiction? Because it's a circuit court or because
I'll have to pull it back up.
And I know I asked, but isn't this what we thought was going to happen? She was going to do this?
Says this is a quote from the judge. While declaratory or other injunctive relief may be available to challenge a certified nominee's eligibility to hold office under the Alabama Constitution, for the aforementioned reasons, this court finds that it does not have jurisdiction over the sole claim of quo warranto at this time. I'm trying to find. While the office of nominee has been recognized by Alabama courts as conferring quasi-officer status, thereby giving its holder a valuable right, there is currently no case law of which this court is aware holding that a quasi-officer falls within the definition of public officer.
Oh.
Holy
cow. Okay, so here's the thing. That I wish they just put it in plain English, put it in black English for us at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean that he you're a nominee, you're not the elected official yet? Therefore, do they have to refile and make a ruling after he is the elected governor and the elected official? In which case he would be sworn in as governor. Then they could rule that he wouldn't be eligible. Is that what they're saying?
Well, it could be. I'm not sure.
I need an interpreter.
There's the other part of this quote of, while this court lacks authority to extend the application of quo warranto to a certified nominee, that does not imply that it should not be extended in this case, nor that the plaintiffs are stopped altogether from seeking court resolution of constitutional eligibility to hold office. Says public interest certainly weighs in favor of the judicial resolution of constitutional eligibility to hold office in advance of a general election. There is also a very strong argument that quo warranto should be available because of action to challenge the constitutional eligibility of the certified nominee of a major political party prior to general election. And then this is Grayson writing, said, Reed's order acknowledged what the Alabama Republican Party did in June. Under Alabama Code 171371, nomination contests on eligibility grounds belong to the party.
Okay, so again, we're back here. Are you ready for this analogy, friends? If you watch basketball, you know that flopping is a big deal because it really is just a time waster. And it gives people a second to breathe because maybe they're behind by 40 points and they're not going to win. So they flop and they have to take a TV timeout and then get back in the game and they still lose. That's what this is. This is a giant time waster. This is a huge flop. And they're still going to lose, and Tommy Tuberville is still going to win.
Well, this is their only way to win, is to get him off the ballot.
And they're not going to win. This is not different than any game where people are trying to, let me tie my shoe. Hang on. Let me tie my shoe.
Yeah.
That's what this is. You don't think that they knew that Tuberville was secure in his residency status before he ran? Of course they were. This is their only shot, and it is a huge flop. This is all the Democrats have, is lawfare. Instead of running honestly against your opponent, putting out honest ideas, and letting those stand. I am so tired of this, and that's It's the only hope they have, but they're not going to win. They're just not. Sorry.
Okay. My brain is just really going. I mean, let's think. Let's say the Democrats are successful in getting Tommy Tuberville kicked off the ballot. Just hypothetically. It'll never happen. Why? I would think they'd rather run against a Tommy Tuberville, who even some Republicans have issues with because he is so far right and conservative, than like a Will Ainsworth. To me, Will is much more measured. Like, I would think you would not want to run against a Will. Because that's who we would assume they would replace him with.
Well, I would come. I hear what you're saying. I would come at it from a different angle. Of Tuberville is going to be like the Trump of Alabama, and from the sense of he's going to just, and rightfully so, and a lot of what conservatives want him to do is to use the power of the governor's office to just do action, like to actually do things. And he's got money to
like bulldoze everything.
Yes, and special interests can't buy him off because he's got money. He doesn't need their money. So I think they're trying to stop, because somebody like a, Will Ainsworth or others, even though they are strong conservatives, they may play a little bit more within the lines of the rules than Tuberville, who's just freaking get it done, find a way to get it done, because he's the CEO, the head coach, and he's going to come at it from a Trump perspective. That would be because I agree with what you're saying. I think the other half of the argument is, well, Tuberville is going to be one who's not going to play by the rule, and the rules is going to be more scary for the Democrats because he's just going to find a way to get it done.
Mm-hmm. Doug Jones is a liberal progressive who supports everything we are against, and the only way they think that they can give him a chance is this way. But he is not far off the liberal progressives we talk about from other states. He's just not. And this is the Democrats' only way. Because I think you're right, JP. Tuberville is just going to be like, get it done. He's not a micromanager. He's going to do what he wants to do. And that's what we want. We've said for a long time, we want a Ron DeSantis here. And that's who he's going to be, even within issues that we clearly have with him on, for example, gambling. But he's still going to do great things for our state. And that's what we want. But I think this is what Democrats think they'll have to do. It's just this, and just keep at it.
So is this less about Doug Jones winning and more about keeping the bull out of the china shop?
I think so. I think, and actually we got a comment on this from Ashley. She says, the rhinos don't want Tommy, and they're using the Democrats to try to get rid of him. Just my opinion. I agree with JP.
Okay.
And she also commented before that, I think the courts won't touch it because it would open the floodgates for a disenfranchised voter case, since the voters elected Tommy in the primary election.
What are they going to do about Graham Plattner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, this is what they do. This is lawfare in Alabama. This is Trump lawfare, but just boiled down to our purple state.
Yeah. And we've talked about this all the time, but there's the Democrats of the state, but then there's the real Democrats of the state that just put a fake R by their name because they know that's the only way they can actually have any powers if they act like Republicans, aka rhinos. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of rhinos that don't want Tuberville to come in because they fear what the Democrats fear, except they're like the enemy within the gates. And so they could be using the other side and using them as the scapegoat, like it's the Democrats who are doing that, and it's actually them from behind the scenes wanting to use the Democratic Party to keep Tuberville out. I think there's part of that as well.
So you think this is a joint effort?
I do, but then there's also some things, that with Tuberville, like you said, that conservatives don't agree with him on, like gambling being one. And I know Tuberville and his office were publicly behind or supported the PSC bill, and which got him a lot of slack from conservatives. So there's surface level conservative issues that we can disagree on, but I'd say for the most part, conservatives want Tuberville in. I think it's the rhinos in the Republican Party that are maybe working alongside the Democrats because they're scared of the actual foundational deep state of Alabama that could get dismantled with a force like Tuberville to come in as governor.
It's very hard to recognize that we have a deep state, but we have our own nasty swamp. And you're right. They're like, oh, we got to act right for at least 4 or 8 years, probably 8. We got to act right. We got to pretend. This is exhausting. This is a whole thing that I really believe it's a Trump lawfare in Alabama. And there's a bunch of people behind the scenes pulling the strings.
I'll just say this: if a Montgomery Circuit judge didn't like that, I don't know the specifics on this judge, but if a Montgomery Circuit judge didn't strike him down as ineligible, then I think that tells all. Because I think a Montgomery Circuit judge would have found any reason to do that.
Mm-hmm. They keep looking and they keep failing. It's a flop.
So we got about 3 minutes. Do we want to get to the montage and play it?
Can we do the Muslim Minute now?
Wait. I'd say we do montage now, Muslim Minute before Jim Zeigler at 11 o'clock.
But then everybody's going to forget what we played in the montage.
Excuse me, everyone, alert, alert, alert. Hello, Rosie. Good morning, and I love you.
It's Honey.
Hi, baby. Hi, May. Okay, I'm sorry. We can go back to regularly scheduled programming.
Video of them talking to the TV.
Yeah, Emmy, did you hear that? What she said?
Yeah.
Okay,
fine. We'll wait on the Muslim Minute.
Yeah, because the Muslim Minute needs a proper reaction from y'all. Actually, no, that's a good point. Okay, we can do the Muslim Minute now. Y'all can give your quick reaction to it. And then
Abs, I need drama.
And we're working on a proper intro for it.
But involves Charlie.
Here's the Muslim Minute.
Christina Awayo in Dallas, and here are your top stories. Outrage is erupting in Little Rock, Arkansas, over a city-approved Islamic residential project that requires buyers to sign a private Islamic bill of assurance where the community would be ruled by Sharia law. It will have 2 mosques, an Islamic school, clinic, and related facilities under ongoing control by the Linked Mosque organization. The project sits in the John Barrow neighborhood area of Little Rock on a 6-acre site. City planning records show the Little Rock Planning Commission approved the New Africa development by the Islamic Center for Human Excellence, or ICHE, on a 10-0 vote in December of 2020. Okay, here are the details. 22 single-family homes planned, with multiple homes already built and sold. Additional lots approved. 2 prayer halls totaling nearly 10,000 square feet. 1 2,953 square foot mosque on lot 7, and 1 6,750 square foot mosque on lot 23. A 4,500 square foot Islamic educational building and school. Health clinic, community garden, playground, and parking spaces. Perpetual oversight by ICHE or the New Africa Homeowners Association.
So I know no one goes to Little Rock, Arkansas, apparently. But for those of you who farm, get ready to have some of your animals stolen. Get ready for halal demands on the way that you slaughter your meat. Get ready, fathers, for your daughters to be sexually assaulted if anything we know, like Dearborn, Michigan, and New York City is to be believed, or any other places around the country like England. Shame on you, City Council. What the heck are you thinking, legislative officials? Are you serious? You just welcomed in and surrendered your community, and now you are going to have to pay the price, and it is going to be steep.
That was dramatic.
Well, that's what you asked me
that
for.
Was good.
Like I felt like I gave
really
my
good.
best.
No, that was good.
You know,
I needed more facial expressions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'll do that. Then you give the drama afterwards. But what the heck are we doing? I mean, in what world could we go into a Muslim country and set up our own little America? Call it Little America, not New Africa, which, by the way, choose a nicer name. Who wants to live in Africa? Nobody's moving to Africa. It's a poop hole, which maybe is telling. But we couldn't go set up New America with their own laws and say, we've got a Bill of Rights and a constitution in the middle of Afghanistan. Why are we doing this? And you even look at, I mean, these are southern states that seem to go, well, there is a First Amendment. No. I don't get it. I'm donezo.
They're like,
Deport.
Out.
Lot 23, you're out.
Go.
Afuera.
Immediately.
We'll be back.
Or they can do as I did, which is request commission from the president. So I have been commissioned as the senior admiral at the Public Health Service, specifically the Commission Corps. So you have the U.S. Public Health Service, and then you have something called the Commission Corps, and these are commissioned officers. I'm a 4-star admiral. I lead the Commission Corps, and so one of the other roles I have is as a flag officer, an admiral, is to lead the Commission Corps of the Public Health Service, and that's about 5,400 doctors, nurses, pharmacists, therapists. Believe it or not, we've got a few veterinarians in there as well, dentists, dermatologists. We are Secretary Kennedy's tip of the spear strike force for public health initiatives. And it's really a privilege to wear this uniform. It's a privilege to receive the salutes that I receive from other members of other uniformed services and my own officers. To wear this uniform is a privilege, but that's a big part of what I do, is to lead the Commission Corps, because we really are the edge of the knife, the tip of the spear for public health in the United States. And I have officers deployed other parts of the world as well, primarily in the U.S. We work at Guantanamo Bay, for instance. We work with ICE agencies. We work with DHS. We supply doctors and nurses to the Indian Health Service, which is a big role. We have officers that work at FDA, work at CDC. They're out in community health centers. So we're all over the place, but that's part of my role as well.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
I had no idea.
It's a lot of people. And these officers, these are good men and women. These are good men and women who want to serve, who care about this country. And one of the things I have been told by officer after officer is they said, we are so happy that we have a new Assistant Secretary for Health. We're demoralized by our prior Assistant Secretary because we knew he didn't really care about us. He put the uniform on as a political stunt. Brian, you wear the uniform because you care about the country and you want to serve the president and the secretary.
So going into this role, like, you're just kind of starting. If now, and hopefully we'll do an interview as you're leaving and we can reassess, but give us your top 3, like, these are the things that I definitely want to get done while I'm here. What would those be?
Yeah, and so my agenda is, of course, Secretary Kennedy's agenda and the president's agenda. We all work for the president. He is the commander-in-chief. I work with Secretary Kennedy as we both serve the president and serve the people. And so the things that are really important to us at the Department of Health and Human Services, we know that affordability of health care, affordability of drugs, making sure we have good health care delivered to everybody, whether it be in a city or in these rural environments, that is something incredibly important to the president and the secretary and myself. Also, we have our values issues. In other words, and we can talk about this, right to life issues, respect for the dignity of every man, woman, and child in this country. That's incredibly important to us. Taking care of men, taking care of women, that's important. So affordability, these values issues, and doing everything so different from the last administration and the last Department of Health and Human Services. We absolutely are guided by science. That's something that Secretary Kennedy has said again and again. We are guided by gold standard science, and we use that science to form policy and to do things that are going to make America healthier than she's ever been.
Okay, but Dr. Fauci says he is science. So are we Dr. Fauci science, or are we, like, how do you...
Are we science?
We are science. We are science. Listen, people can think what they want about Dr. Fauci. I prefer not to think about Dr. Fauci. I don't have much regard or respect for that individual. But who I do have regard and respect for are RFK, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Jay Bhattacharya, Dr. Bhattacharya, who was so incredibly strong during the COVID pandemic. He leads the NIH, the National Institutes of Health. I have respect for Dr. Oz, Mehmet Oz, who heads up CMS, Medicare and Medicaid. He is amazingly brilliant, amazingly committed to this country. We have Marty McCary, who is out at FDA. Marty also cares deeply. We don't have a CDC director right now. The interim director is a man named Jim O'Neill. Jim is also the deputy secretary at HHS, incredibly smart, incredibly strong, committed to life, committed to science. So those are the people I think about. I don't worry about Anthony Fauci. I don't want to think about Anthony Fauci.
Hello, and welcome back. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP.
Sorry, I was trying to get Sinclair's attention. You want some of this Monster?
I need some. No, it's actually from where
You need something stronger?
Well, no, it's you know when your eyes are burning?
Oh yeah.
And it makes you want to close your eyes. And whatever we started laughing, we were being old people. Now my mascara is dripped in my eyeballs and I just want to do this. But that would be weird, so I won't.
Please don't.
Okay. I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. Let's go to montage.
Okay, real quick. Here we go.
Black News.
You can pay $3,950 if you want to have birth naturally, make your child a U.S. citizen.
Are you kidding?
Your
Oh, yeah.
foreign board C-section, $5,525. I spoke with Ken Paxton on this, and he showed me pictures where there are houses in Texas that look residential. So it could be your neighbor's house, and you go inside the house, and there are rows of bassinets.
Fox News alert, Graham Plattner has just dropped out of his race for Senate in Maine after pressure from Democrat leaders following rape accusations from a woman he previously dated.
Caitlin Clark voted 11th best guard by WNBA players. That's crazy. Man, you got some insecurities if you sitting down and putting Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard. Like, y'all need to go to a therapist and figure out what childhood issues you have.
We have many ways we can win, but we've already won militarily. They have very little left, and they want to make a deal so badly. They called a little while ago. They want to make a deal so badly. I just don't know if they're worthy of making a deal. I don't know that they're going to honor the deal. That's the problem.
Totally agree. Look, if we're going to have this H-1B program, I know there's a lot of debate about that, but if we're going to have it, we at least need to make sure that people are using it for the actual purpose of bringing in highly specialized labor and not for human trafficking, and just as bad, hiring foreigners rather than hiring Americans. If companies are doing that, they should suffer the consequences of that.
That's a good one.
That's so stupid, though. What? That's the whole point of the H-1B visas.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So what?
Here's H-1B, just jumping in. So the people with H-1B.
Is there an H-1A?
Probably.
I've always wanted to ask that.
Named after me. So 70% of H-1B visa holders are from India. 60% are from China. We know that there's already a Chinese birth citizen situation, birth tourism going on here.
Hold on. That's too many percentages.
Well, of the ones who hold the H-1B fraud, I just got this from Fox News. It's got to be within a greater framework. But on Fox News, they said that 70% are from China. 70% India, 60% China. I did not pay attention to the framework that was dropped into. We'll have to go look it up.
Yeah. Okay.
But of the applications from India, for example, 90% are fraudulent, and they've discovered that universities are producing fake degrees. Like over 36,000 in one instance. Those are the kind of people that are coming here to be hired. And one of those hirings could be going to medical school or residency and beating out U.S. medical graduates. They're having a huge problem in that area right now. So that caught my attention immediately because we follow Mary Talley Bowman, I think, from Texas. We know that they want to come and have some foreign workers. Okay, I got that. But they're usually using fraudulent documents to get here, to work here. So they're saying they have university degrees that make them eligible for jobs that they don't actually qualify for. It's even more terrifying when you consider that they are making them eligible, perhaps, for example, to go to medical school or to get into residency. And their standards are lower, or they have a completely fake degree, and yet they're getting foreign spots. It's a huge mess. in my opinion, like huge. But those are just some of the things with the H-1B visa that caught my attention that I was looking at on Fox this morning. Terrifying.
JP, can you look up I've never known, I genuinely want to know if there are H-1A.
Yeah,
what does the B signify? What is it designated for? Because that's all you hear about.
Well, H-1A was a discontinued U.S. non-immigrant work visa created exclusively for foreign registered nurses. It was established by the Immigration Nursing Relief Act of 1989, but expired in 1995, with the final visas issued around 2000.
Okay, so then the B came into play, and the B is designated for who, technically?
H-1B is a widely used employer-sponsored non-migrant or non-immigrant visa for professionals in specialty occupations that typically require a bachelor's degree or higher.
Okay.
Yeah, it's being twisted into something other than that, obviously. But
why are we giving jobs to workers like this?
Well, my thing is too the argument that Americans just won't do the job. I don't believe that for 1 second at all. Americans aren't being given the opportunity to do that job because think about what the Trump administration was fighting to keep with the amount of Chinese students coming here. Like, think about how many international non-American students we bring into the United States to get trained up to do these jobs, and then they go back and then they come here on H-1B visas, and we're pushing Americans out from the whole process in terms of being schooled to do such a thing and then being given the jobs. But I've always had a real issue with the people that say, well, the Americans don't want to do the work, or Americans, they're not smart enough to do the work. If you have a system in place where companies have to hire Americans and American students, then the universities will react, and then there will have to be programs to train the American students up to do the job. And like the system will recorrect if you make it to where American students are the ones that have to have the jobs. But it's not going to happen unless you force Silicon Valley and others to, sorry, your cheap labor is going away. You're going to have to hire Americans. It's not going to change until, and the argument from the Trump administration was that, we need the H-1Bs to train up the Americans and then they can leave. And I'm like,
that's silly.
No. But it's the legal immigration argument we always talk about. Well, if it's legal immigration, then legal immigration keeps Americans from having jobs.
We need to shut it all down.
I agree 100%.
I don't care if you're freaking Einstein. I don't care. Go be Einstein somewhere else, at least for the next 10, 15 years.
I mean, because the other question that I wondered about this morning is, who's really behind the wholesale overthrow of our country? Because this is a great way to overthrow us and kick us out of jobs, make us worthless, meaningless. You've got a bunch of foreigners here. We're already going to talk about birthright citizenship and what's going to happen there. But I mean, who's really behind all this? And who really thinks this is a great idea? Like, we've heard the Trump administration, their reasoning behind it, but this has been going on for years. But now under a Republican administration, it's at a fevered pitch. I thought we weren't for this.
I don't know if that was a rhetorical question.
No, I really want to answer. I just had a bug on me, by the way.
Was it a wasp?
I was about to say, was it a wasp?
So if anybody saw it flip, I think it may have been anyway. So JP, be prepared. And no, I'm asking. I really want to know.
I think this is big company. This is Silicon Valley. This is manufacturing. This is pharma, that they want these workers. They probably can pay them less. They probably are, in theory, they think they're better workers. There's this whole perception that, Indians are smarter, or they're better. It's exactly what you were talking about, JP. They don't want to lose that for whatever reason. It's a steady flow. It's the lazy way of doing business. And then the administration gets pressure to keep the floodgates open, but you're going to destroy Dell, or you're going to destroy whatever, company it is. And the Trump administration is beholden to them. They're big donors, not specifically them. I don't know that. But do you see what I'm saying? It's this whole circular logic. Well, I mean, if you take them away, then we won't have money, and then we won't be able to give your campaigns, and we won't be able to give to your kids, because apparently all the kids of every president are getting paid. And then and then it'll collapse the economy, and then it'll all fall back on you.
Yep. And that's always been the argument from Trump. He said publicly, well, if we get rid of all of the workers in the hotels and big agriculture, and then we keep the Chinese students from coming in, his argument for each one is that the economy will collapse for that. And I don't buy that, because they're not, even if it does take a dip and it is painful for a little bit, the hotel and the big ag and the universities, they're not going to allow the economy. They're going to come to Americans. They're going to offer Americans a good wage, and they're going to offer Americans a good job. And the universities are going to have Americans come in. And maybe, you know what? Maybe the universities have to lower their tuition costs so that Americans can come in, and not the rich oligarchs from China and Russia or India to send their kids here. Like, maybe you got to do that. But it's them not wanting to. Well, if we do that, then the economy will collapse. Like, you'll find a way, because you'll make it to where Americans have to profit from that. So that argument has always been. And Trump's being a businessman, so maybe that argument works on him, but I don't buy it.
I don't either.
It's kind of like what's happening in Iran. You got to pull the Band-Aid off. We can't stay in this perpetual state of uncertainty of do we, don't we do, we don't, open, close. I mean, we're going to bomb you. We're not. You're getting played all around. And in the end, it's bad for America. So be a leader. You were elected to be a leader, to make hard decisions. Do it. Pick a lane and do it.
That's right. It's really very simple. And you're right.
Do we have our friend on?
We do. If we want to intro him.
So exciting. Abs?
You guys, our friend, and in his newest elected position, obviously there's a November election, Public Service Commissioner, place 2, 3, 2.
That's
2. I was right.
Does it matter?
It doesn't matter, because he's him, Jim Zeigler, who joins us now.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having me on Rightside Media. This is going to be a good way to get my issues out to the people of Alabama.
We are so glad to have you. And for those who may not know you, would you give our audience a quick introduction and then tell us why you ran for Public Service Commission? We know you've held other positions before.
Well, I am a freelance writer. I write about Alabama, about the colorful and positive people, events, groups, and even prominent deaths of Alabama people. And I have been doing that ever since I finished my 2 terms as the state auditor. I was term limited and was not able to run for a 3rd consecutive term. And this was sort of a return to yesteryear. I earned a minor in journalism from the University of Alabama Roll Tide, and I was a news reporter way back in 19, and so this is a return to those days. I did some limited writing for the Crimson White student newspaper when a student at the University of Alabama Roll Tide. And that's what I do. Now, in the past, I was elected to the Public Service Commission right after coming out of the University of Alabama Roll Tide, and was the youngest person elected to a statewide office in Alabama. This was way back in 19. So here we are again, some half a century later, and I was blessed to win the Republican nomination for Public Service Commission Place 2. There are 2 seats on the PSC that will be up in the November 3rd general election. I'll be running on the ticket with Sheriff Matt Gentry from Coleman, who is the Republican nominee for Place 1. And now think about this, Allison, as a political pitch for the November general election. With Sheriff Gentry on a PSC, we'll have a new sheriff in town. And with Jim Zeigler on the PSC, we'll have a new auditor in town.
Oh,
Now, isn't that a compelling platform for the Republican ticket on November 3rd?
it seems like the Public Service Commission could use a sheriff and an auditor. I'm curious your thoughts. I mean, the Public Service Commission was way more in the news during this election than I've never, no offense, I've never thought about the Public Service Commission until maybe my power goes out or the bill is sky high. I didn't realize how much y'all do. It's crazy. Why in the world would you want to put your name in the hat for this? With it's so contentious. What do you think you can do, and what are your goals?
I have the outline of a plan to be the watchman on the Public Service Commission. That is my campaign slogan, watchman. And I think I have won the Guinness Book of World Records for the shortest campaign slogan that any candidate has ever run on, watchman. And it says it all. I served as a watchman, as state auditor, watchman for the taxpayers. And we won a half dozen or so fights on behalf of the taxpayers. Did we win them all? No, absolutely. When you're fighting against City Hall, so to speak, you're the underdog. Some of these were David versus Goliath type battles, but we won some. And I will take a similar approach on the Public Service Commission. I'll be a watchman for the people of Alabama and for the small businesses. Now, sometimes we forget that Alabama's economy is very much based on small businesses. Our jobs, that most of them are provided by small business. And those small businesses have a difficult time paying these high power bills. It's not just your homeowner. And so I will be a watchman for the homeowners and the small businesses.
So you're a watchman for homeowners, for the small businessmen. What else are you paying attention to and looking out for? What other issues are there that we need to know about?
The new issue is all of these dozens of data centers and solar farms targeting Alabama. I am still trying to figure out why in the world these out-of-state outfits are targeting Alabama to come in here and build their industrial size facilities. Now, it would sound like that's a good thing because of the number of jobs that are generated by these facilities. That's not correct. There are very few jobs during the construction phase. Yes, you have a normal amount of constructive jobs as if you were building an industry of most any type. But after the thing becomes operative, there are very few humans needed to run a data center. In fact, the whole purpose of artificial intelligence is to try to downgrade the need for the human component in producing things, producing data, producing running industries, running all kind of things. So these AI data centers are not a job development program. It can be quite the opposite. Now, who in Montgomery is overseeing this influx of data centers and solar farms? Who do you think oversees it?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
That is the correct answer, Amy Beth. No one. There is no one who's acting as an overseer. It's the Wild West. And that's going to change on January 18th, coming up, if I'm blessed to be elected to the PSC in the November 3rd general election. I have a plan to be the watchman over these data centers and solar farms. And there's also a third type called carbon capture projects. And there are various others. And this is beginning to take shape already. Yesterday, the Public Service Commission opened a comment period for people, businesses, whomever, to make their suggestions for how the PSC should vet these data centers. And there is a deadline coming up on August the 6th. And after that, they have asked Alabama Power Company, which is all tied into this by being the power provider and sometimes the power recipient. They've given them 15 days to then give their response to the thing. And I am announcing at this time on Rightside Media that I'm going to file with the PSC a plan for how to watch over these data centers. And it does not include solar farms at the moment, and I'm going to suggest that it does. There are many similarities, and I'll be filing that before the deadline. And of course, I'll get a copy of that to Rightside Media. And I expect some very critical comments on my suggestions. I'm not having to wait till January 18th when I would be inaugurated to start this work toward becoming a watchman. Because this issue is here now, I'm having to start here and now.
How do you, I'm curious, and honestly, I was having a discussion with someone else this morning actually about these data centers, and they're inevitable. It feels like that they're coming to a neighborhood near you with AI and how it's taking hold, even in, let's say, smaller businesses in Alabama that are using Claude and all these different programs. It seems like it's one of those things that is coming our way. So how do we balance it? I don't know if you can ban it, but is that what your plan is, how do we do this responsibly? Not keeping it out, but how do we do this responsibly? And what are your suggestions for that?
Well, you may be one of the few people who figured that out, Allison. The watchman on the wall won't be there necessarily to block all solar farms, all data centers, but rather to oversee, to vet. Example, these facilities can consume a tremendous amount of fresh water. There are places in Alabama where fresh water is already becoming a precious commodity without data centers. And if there's going to be a run on the water supply, that needs to be taken in consideration before we approve that data center. The same thing with the power. These facilities can use a tremendous amount of electricity, as much as a small city. And if it's going to cause the electric rates to go up, if it's going to cause brownouts, if it's going to cause strain on the electrical grid, those things need to be looked at by the watchman and taken into consideration. Now, chances are that my plan that I will be submitting by the August 6th deadline will go further than what anybody else has got in mind at this time. I'm taking it to a responsible place where I believe it needs to be. And it may be that the commission takes a little bit less of an active role. And that's okay. It's a start because once I'm on the commission, Lord willing, on January 18th, I can take a second step and a third step and so forth. This will be a continuing process. These data centers are going to be an issue over the next decade. And it won't be something that will be a one-day hearing, a one-page order, and it's done with. It will be a continuous watchman approach. Amazingly, in the candidates for the Public Service Commission, I was the only one that spotted this issue and that said that we need a watchman over these data centers, and I will do exactly that.
I have a suggestion. Well, I have two suggestions, and I don't even know if they're feasible.
Well,
you could maybe add this. Wait, should I submit it on the website?
Submit it.
I can submit it. I'm thinking, like, can you not recycle the water? You know, like you do in an infinity pool, and you just recycle instead of dumping new water?
You can, to
like
an extent.
Okay.
It's called a closed loop system. And there are some of the data centers that already have this. So the water goes through and does its cooling, and then it's not released into the aquifer, and it just goes back around through. Now you can imagine after it's gone through 50,000 times, the shape that water is in by that point. And then you gotta get rid of it. So the closed loop does not work 100%, and it has its own problems, but you can take steps to lower the amount of water that is consumed by the data centers. Again, you may be the only person besides me that has figured that out, Allison.
I have more. My other suggestion is, why can't we do like a little tiny tabletop mini nuclear reactor that powers it? I mean, it's probably bigger than a table, but you know, I think there are ways around this because, like you said, this is coming, and it's like smartphones with our kids. It's here. We're not going back. So how do we do it responsibly? But I appreciate you thinking about this. I think it's important.
You're right. There are various ways to provide the power for these data centers, and the small nuclear reactors, which have had a tremendous increase in their efficiency and the science behind them over the last couple of decades. That is one way. Natural gas. Alabama is a big natural gas state, and that can be used to provide the power. Things have not worked so well trying to set up windmills. That it's just not there yet. It's not working well. Also, the solar farms, if they're done right and if they're in appropriate locations that won't ruin the local community, they can provide power for the data center. And can you imagine building this huge data center with hundreds of thousands of square feet, and on the flat roof, you put solar panels, and they are self-sufficient. Now, President Trump issued an executive order just a few months ago, and he directed that these data centers will not cause the electric bills to go up, and that they will either provide their own electricity, or if they have to take power from the local electric company, that they will pay for the infrastructure to do that. Now, who's going to enforce that in the state of Alabama?
The Watchman.
The Watchman, Jim Zeigler. And that's exactly, these things aren't automatically self-fulfilling. And that's one of the reasons that we need a Watchman.
Jim Zeigler, thank you. We have to go to a break. But thank you for coming on with us today. And we look forward to continuing the conversation in the weeks to come.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and JP.
You have to get us your filing. Don't forget that. And keep us updated on how things go from there.
I will. I'll make a deal with you. It sounds like you're going to make a filing too with the public service.
How do you do that?
We're going to figure it out.
All right. It's due by August the 6th.
August 6th.
We're on it. We're on it.
All right.
Got it? Got it, Sinclair?
I got it.
Okay.
We will find. Actually, you can text JP the website, or do you know it? How you make the filing?
Oh, it doesn't say. I've got a copy of the full order issued yesterday. See, we're just right on top of things here. What I'll do is I'll send it to you two ladies at Rightside, and
we'll get the information out to our listeners for sure.
Okay.
Because they're a smart bunch. They'll have some ideas.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Okay. Thank you
Jim
so much.
Zeigler, thank you. It's always fun, and have a great day. Thank you for what you do.
You too.
We'll talk soon.
Okay.
JP, do you need a second? Are we ready to go to break? I know we blew through that. That's like Dale Jackson with Wandlin Gavan.
Well, no, that one we just skipped a whole break altogether. So,
but we'll be back, and we're going to talk montage. We're going to take a plunge into the whole Caitlin Clark debacle because it's blowing up on social media. And then who knows what else we'll get to by the end of the day. But don't go anywhere.
We'll be back.
To this country. Yeah. I think about President Trump and our team now at HHS because we're doing amazing things.
You clearly are. So could we jump in then to those values issues that you've mentioned? Top of the list, right to life.
Yes.
And underneath that would be people's concern about mifepristone.
Sure.
Could you talk to us about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, I'm 62 years old, turned 62 in December. This is the most pro-life administration that I've ever seen in my 6 decades plus of life. There's no question about it. The most pro-life administration that I've ever seen. I think the administration that is friendliest to religion and faith that I've ever seen. And President Trump has demonstrated that again and again. We stand for life. We stand for the fact that we know that life begins at conception. We respect life until life's natural end. We respect the dignity of the person. We want to make sure that we stand with individuals who believe those same things, and we do. The recent March for Life, you saw that Vice President Vance address the country. The next day, there was a breakfast that was basically for all of the youth, the young men and women who'd come into this country come into the city from across the country. There was a breakfast that morning. Jim O'Neill, the deputy secretary, and myself, we addressed those students, and there were over 2,000 people there. And we talked about the fact, what we're doing for life, the fact that we know little boys are little boys and little girls are little girls, the fact that we know life begins at conception, the fact that we are doing things like, for instance, through my office, the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Health, we administer the Title X funds. So let me tell you, so just recently, because of our oversight, directed by Secretary Kennedy, our oversight over Title X funds, $2.3 million of grants that had been given before us had to be returned by Planned Parenthood. $2.3 million that will no longer go to killing children. $2.3 million that will no longer go to lying to women. Because of our oversight, they gave that money back, which is a huge victory. Absolutely. We make sure that we're enforcing the Hyde Amendment. President Trump, Secretary Kennedy, and myself, we are strong for this. No federal dollars are going to go toward abortion or procuring abortion services. We are strong with the Hyde Amendment, and we are making sure the Hyde Amendment is being enforced, unlike the last administration. Yes. We have made sure that monies that when you have youth, children or youths, young girls who are taken in custody coming across the border or something, that federal dollars cannot go to providing abortion services, because that was going on in the last administration. Just totally disregarding the Hyde Amendment. We stand strong. That's no longer happening. So for those right to life issues, we've been incredibly strong about that, and we're very vocal about that. Again, one of the things that impresses me most about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and he's always been this way, he really realizes that God has given an inherent dignity to every man, woman, and child, and we respect that dignity.
As an adopted person, and I know as an adoptive mother, we are so thankful for those policies. And as women who've lived through the nonsense, that the lies that have been heaped upon us, that you have to kill your child to have a life.
That's right.
We're very grateful for your stand in that regard.
Again, all of this is a privilege, but we have to do it for the country. We have to and we have to remember too that all of the wins that we have in this administration and this Department of Health and Human Services, it only takes one election cycle for things to reverse. And so we can talk about this more later, but it's incredibly important for us as conservatives, for us as people of faith, to be motivated to vote in November, to get out, support those candidates who stand with President Trump and his agenda. It's going to be more important than it's ever been. I know every election it's like, this is the most important. So I'm not going to use that hyperbole, but this is an incredibly important election in November. So I want all of the people, all of the men and women who watch this podcast, who listen to this podcast, and there are so many, I want them all to know, tell your friends, tell your families, we've got to be out there supporting candidates in congressional districts and Senate races that support the president in November.
You posted recently about gender affirming care, gender dysphoria, and kind of your work, and you just mentioned, right to life. That I would agree, that is a life issue. Were you surprised when the American Medical Association came out recently and said that gender affirming care, genital mutilation, all that should be put off till adulthood? And do you think that we're maybe turning a corner on all this?
I think that is I'm so glad you asked that question, because yes, so the American Medical Association is certainly backing away from its prior stance. It was the Academy of Plastic Surgeons, I think that's the right name. The Academy of Plastic Surgeons that said, and this is landmark, they said just this past week that we recommend that we don't do those mutilating surgeries, what we call the sex-rejecting surgeries, on anybody under the age of 19. That is huge. That is huge. And I think we are turning this corner. We can never take our foot off the accelerator, because I like to say that gender theory is like a vampire. It'll come back. You may think you've killed it, but it'll.
Hello and welcome back. We hope you enjoyed our interview with the Jim Zeigler, a colorful character in Alabama politics, for sure. But now we are going to, my phone is being slow like Allison's was yesterday. I called it. But let's discuss something that is going on right now. And we're going to take a little plunge into the subject. JP?
So good.
So I don't know if y'all have seen what's happening with Caitlin Clark. And you don't even have to follow college sports. I'm noticing that people are piling on X and commenting. But for example, they had a top, like a poster from the last 50 years of the WNBA. It started in started in a long time ago. Okay. It's been a long time. It's always been run by the NBA. They still haven't made enough money to pay for themselves. Whatever, do with that what you will. But last year, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham's jersey sales, or this is just probably last week this came out, their jersey sales combined for, I believe, over 70% of all jerseys sold. She received a Wilson basketball. I think Michael Jordan was the only other one. I've got to go back and find the basketball, but there was another massive thing that happened for her where she wrote on the basketball, "This doesn't happen. This is not normal." The second person for this ever to happen. And she got it. But they voted her last week from the WNBA as the 11th guard. Ranking all the guards, they ranked her as number 11. Never mind that the seats in the arenas have been filled because of Caitlin Clark. She is the face of the NBA, along with Sophie Cunningham, 2 straight white women. Caitlin Clark has been pummeled on the court. This is to be expected. Basketball is brutal, but to the point where it looks like the refs are just looking away. But 2 weeks ago reached a fevered pitch because she would basically, you could be, say, lightly strangled on the court and they didn't do anything about it. And then they came back and then they suspended this player for a game. But it continues to happen. Now, on the one hand, Caitlin is petulant. And I think some of it she brings on herself because she is very brash, very bold, and she's very in your face when they don't call anything on her. So she's advocating for herself, but in a way you're like, calm down. But then you go back and watch the people are putting together reels of all of the fouls that they've looked away that are not good for Caitlin. So you go, well, I kind of get it, but also maybe like tone it down 1,000. And then you bring in elected officials now this week, and they, Sports Patriot says that Congress is starting to ask questions. They're demanding answers. I don't know if it's worth it, and I want to know what you guys think about it. Is it worth it for Congress to get involved? But number 2, beyond that, why wouldn't Caitlin Clark's coach get involved and fight for her? She's only said one thing, and that was last weekend where she said something little bitty. But it doesn't seem to be that this league is built for straight white women. It's a DEI league built for, I'm so sorry, mainly lesbian women. And if you're a lesbian woman and you happen to be a woman of color or just a lesbian, they are for you. But if you are straight and white, perhaps Catholic like Caitlin Clark is, I don't know, Sophie Cunningham is Protestant. She just got baptized a couple weeks ago. Those are the 2 most popular players. And stats-wise, look at their stats. Look at what they've brought to the WNBA. It's called money. But they're also treating them like dirt. So what do you think about that? Do you think that Congress should be involved? And do you think this is because she is not a woman of color or a raging feminist?
Do we want to play the clip? I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead. Play the clip. This is
Candace Parker.
Candace Parker talking about it. I love Candace Parker, but she's the most honest of anybody about this. But even Charles Barkley's commented.
Kind of crazy. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that there needs to be some rules with the WNBA players because this is getting out of hand. Caitlin Clark voted 11th best guard by WNBA players. That's crazy. Kelsey Plum finished 12th in player rank, but she be percolating all over your defense. You be chasing her downhill off screen.
It's unserious work.
It's kind of crazy. Like I wholeheartedly
unserious work.
I think people need to look at themselves in the mirror and realize, like, man, you got some insecurities if you sitting down and putting Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard. Y'all need to go to a therapist and figure out what childhood issues you have. Because if you're sitting there and looking at yourself in the mirror and putting her as 11th best guard, and you're putting you as 8th best, like, come on. And Kelsey Plum is the 12th. Now, maybe games because she's been hurt. This is crazy.
So is this what happens when DEI takes over a league?
What does Congress want to look into? Like, what are the infractions of the allegations of the league that they want to look into?
They are looking into the amount of flagrant fouls, some that have led to injuries, and so Caitlin's sitting out of games. They are looking into what they're saying is that it's becoming dangerous for somebody like her. And if you watch the sport, you see that hands on the neck, pushing, shoving, way more than other players. They don't do anything for her. She's left to fend on herself. But Congress that's their main issue, according to Sports Patriot, is that the issue is no longer a missed foul, a flagrant, or social media arguments. They're demanding answers from the league itself. Whether you agree or disagree, one thing is undeniable. The WNBA's leadership has allowed the situation to grow into something far bigger than basketball. It is that she doesn't fit their brand, even though she is the brand. And so they are allowing her to be put in harm's way every game because the refs aren't going to do anything. Her coach isn't going to do anything. But is it really because she's not a Black lesbian? There, I said it.
I'm so tired of let's run to Congress to solve all our problems. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. Like, I don't know why Congress feels like, does the WNBA get any federal funding?
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't seriously. That's like the Congress coming into Rightside Media and saying, I don't know, your lighting might be unsafe, or I don't know, Allison was a little aggressively helpful yesterday. I need to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, just go. We're trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. Go handle that. We're trying to stay out of war. I don't know if Congress needs to be involved in this. I think that's silly. I also don't know, is this really a straight white thing? You really think it's not that she's better than us?
It's both.
Okay, so it's both. Oh, you're saying there have to be other straight white players. They're just not
she's
good.
the very best one.
Right.
What drives them nuts and them being WNBA players, like there's been the Sue Birds, the Candace Parkers, and Brittany Griners and others that in the WNBA world were like they're stars, but they were like a little blimp in the radar in terms of like actually being a superstar in all of sports. And they arrogantly believe that, well, first of all, the WNBA is a DEI league because they've never made a profit in their entire existence, and they only exist because the NBA gives them the money that they give them. But I think they believe they are the world's greatest thing, and for the most part, they are gay Black women. So then the thing or the player that brings the WNBA into the forefront and the superstar that the WNBA has been waiting for in its entire existence is not a gay Black lesbian, or I guess gay and lesbian the same, but it's not a Brittany Griner. It's not one of those. It is a straight white girl who can shoot the lights out and is a star. And there's nothing women hate than other women, first of all, but they are extremely jealous that it is not a Brittany Griner or the others. So that it is both. It is not just because it's a straight white woman. It's because that it's a straight white woman that brought the attention to the WNBA and not the Sue Birds or the others, and they can't handle it.
Why aren't they after Sophie Cunningham like that?
Well, I mean, I think they're starting to, but because Sophie's not the superstar Caitlin Clark is. And I think Sophie became kind of a superstar because she was Caitlin Clark's teammate.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why she's constantly being, and I mean, in sports, the star player for the most part does get a little bit, there's a target on their back and they're going to get, roughed up a little bit maybe, but what's happened to her has been extreme and way out of control. And I agree. I think Congress should not have to act on it, but that if you're asking why, that's why they're jealous that they feel like they deserved all the money and attention in the world, and Caitlin Clark gets it and is white and straight, and so that's how it's both.
Mm-hmm.
This is why people hate women's sports. I'm sorry, but you look at the men's national soccer team that won $16 million and has to give it half to the women's national soccer team because they can't make money either. It is drama. It's petty. It's annoying. And I mean, why they think they need all this, I don't know. I hate it for Caitlin because what are your options at this point? You're physically, literally in danger every time you get out on the court, not to mention the mental anguish that they have put her through. And what are your choices? Go out there and get beat up or leave.
Or leave. And I agree with you. Congress should not be involved. Women hate other women. The league is 85%, according to it's 85%. This is from Kelsey Plum, the player they were referencing. She said it doesn't help being a 5'8" white girl coming into a league with 85% black women that want to take your head off. So it is racial, and it is uncool that the person who's putting butts in the seats is a white girl. That's just reality based on the numbers. Let's take skin color out of it. But Caitlin Clark, and for all the girls, it wasn't racial. People were excited she was coming in. Number 1 draft pick, people were finally paying attention. Angel Reese, same thing, finally paying attention. But she has enough money that she could go and actually start her own league and bring the people who actually want to play basketball, who think this is complete nonsense. Because if you watch most basketball games, it is a rainbow and it is beautiful. If you go to basketball or football, I go to a lot of basketball games. Everybody gets along. No one hates each other. But the WNBA is so politicized and so focused on DEI and so focused on everything that has nothing to do with being a better human, being a good basketball player, and inspiring other future basketball players. Go start your own league. You have enough money. You've achieved what nobody else has. And they hate you for it, and they will continue to hate you for it. And they're not going to do a darn thing to help you. So I think she needs to go. But as far as Congress stepping in, that's an immediate stop. No one needs you to intervene. It's enough that Gino, what's his last name? Ariema, Charles Barkley, Dick Vitale. It's enough that these men are speaking up. Those are legends. Just by them speaking up, that something's going to happen. But the WNBA and those women there are so weak. They're like oatmeal. They're never going to do anything for you. So go on, Caitlin. Like, take your
she would
game.
Have investors.
Absolutely.
I mean,
we can invest with our words.
And about 25 cents.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just tell you the right attitude, obviously, to have is that, oh, great, Caitlin has brought all the eyeballs to the WNBA. That helps everybody. I'll tell you a firsthand example. My little sister, who has played basketball her whole life, she's a college basketball player right now. She didn't pay attention to the WNBA. I mean, she paid attention to college basketball, women's college basketball, but that was really it. And Caitlin Clark obviously came to fruition, and that's like my little sister's. My sister has been the one that just pulls up from like just cross half court, and like she's a sharpshooter like that. So Caitlin Clark was like her idol, and that got her into watching. It started with Iowa basketball and, you know, UConn and Paige Beckers and the others. But then she's now watching like WNBA, actual WNBA all the time, not just for Caitlin Clark anymore. Caitlin Clark is what got her invested into the rest of the WNBA. And I had to go with her to a WNBA game last year. It was the worst day of my life. I'm just kidding. But Caitlin Clark wasn't even playing in the game. It was a teammate of Caitlin Clark at Iowa that Ashlyn got into watching because of Caitlin Clark. But that got her to buy a ticket to a WNBA game that Caitlin Clark wasn't even a part of in Atlanta. So that's how Caitlin Clark has sucked people into WNBA as a whole, not just Caitlin Clark. But the WNBA players can't see that and appreciate that. They're just jealous that it was Caitlin Clark that brought eyeballs to it.
That's right.
When the rest of like Angel Reese is not on Caitlin Clark's team, and just her having a feud with Caitlin Clark has got eyeballs on Angel Reese and her team. And then you get invested into, Paige Beckers and the others and the teammates of Caitlin Clark. And then, oh, wait, there's actually some good WNBA players I didn't even know were a thing until you see, like but they don't view it through that lens.
Rising tides, raise
all boats. Yeah.
All boats.
So.
And game respects game. So just go play where that is respected, and you might have to be the one to start it. Also, everybody is now watching the super smoking hot with a halo of glory around her, Sophie Cunningham. So that's a whole nother level and group of people that are watching that weren't watching before. But I think it's tragic that here we have women, you had a chance and you're blowing it.
I'm getting ready to sneeze. That's all that is.
Bless you.
Bites
in
off.
advance.
It's gone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you say watermelon, it's supposed
Did you
to,
say that?
Yeah, in my head. But then I was saying it as I was looking at the light, which makes you sneeze.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
anyway.
would say y'all are like in sneeze territory, or Allison, because you've got all these lights beaming on you.
All right then.
Well, Caitlin, support you in whatever you do. Hang in there. Just don't die.
Please don't. Like, get out.
They're so mean.
You just go marry that cute boyfriend y'all have dated forever. Just go get married and start your own thing. Okay.
If Caitlin Clark broke off and started her own league,
oh my word,
I don't think people would watch the WNBA anymore.
No.
I mean, they had to, because WNBA arenas are not very big. They've had to go, and when the NBA team in that town is out of town, have to use the NBA stadium with bigger seats or more seats, just because Caitlin Clark is like, that's the sort of magnitude of what she's bringing. It's insane.
Man. Okay, then.
How much time do we have?
We got about 4 minutes.
I do. The first clip of the montage was about what we talked about. I can't remember if it was in Hot Flash News or Yammer, but the billboard that a Texas Mission Regional Hospital put up in Mexico across the border saying, come here and have your baby. It's $5,000 for a C-section. And then you can be your child can be a U.S. citizen. Literally advertising for that. They did have to take the billboards down. They said they were being misunderstood.
Oh, okay. How?
It was just so they could have, good health care.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. They did have to take it down, but the end of that clip that was kind of cut off, and what Abs, you're so smart, and you've been talking about this for so long, and we all go, like, I can remember 2 years ago you talking about this. They were saying there are houses in Texas that might be in your neighborhood. They look just like houses, but you walk in and they are lined with bassinets where all of these Chinese, especially women, come and have their children and stay and get them birthright citizenship. And it's just this whole production. And it could be right down the street from you, but it is this whole underground system that is operating. And why are we just now? Amy Beth Shaver knew about it 2 years ago. Where were our elected officials?
Well, the other part of it, too, is that Trump apparently is pushing to refile for another hearing with that as evidence of like, oh, no, you guys didn't understand why we actually brought this up. It's not because of the Dreamers. Hello.
Listen, Allison and I's job is just to see things maybe before anybody else does, be willing to be called crazy. And then when it happens, okay, well, then now what's the solution? Shut it down. Just shut it down. The Chinese will be able to vote. That's 1 million in, do the math, however many years it is, are going to be able to vote in our election. And they are communist. They raise them as communist. The Muslims that are coming here, whether they're trying to immigrate or they have visas and they pretend that they have to go back, they stay. Think Minneapolis, they are going to vote. You will not have your country. You will not.
But
if this is allowed to continue.
But the First Amendment, but the 14th Amendment.
I know I'm being so mean, aren't I?
But the Constitution.
You're right. What am I saying? That's ridiculous.
But we gotta be nice.
We don't have to be nice.
Who's gonna mow my lawn?
Are you a Christian or not?
I don't. Allison. Did y'all hear that?
What? Who said that? I think it's
who's going to do my dry cleaning?
Would you rather repeal the 14th Amendment or the 19th Amendment?
Neither.
Oh, she said neither.
Or both.
Neither.
You don't want to repeal the 14th?
Well, they got to get it right.
I say get rid of the 14th. We'll deal with the crazy voter women later.
We may need to talk about the 14th and 19th tomorrow. Let's do it.
We don't have the same issues.
Well, no, we don't.
Yeah.
You're
you're
right.
Nobody's saying
You're right.
that a black person is 3/5.
Yeah, no, we're done. We're good. However, I think Chip Roy's got some ideas on how to fix it.
Can we talk about it tomorrow?
Yes. Yes, darling, we can.
Okay, well, these old people will just go home and eat our dinner at 4, and we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget your Geritol.
I got it in my purse over
I don't even know what that is. What is it? Is it a laxative?
It's for like your joints, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm gonna get some Geritol so we can find out.
Don't forget your Dulcolax. Oh, Lord. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see y'all then.